Welcome to Authentic Storytelling. I'm your host, storytelling guide, best-selling publisher, Linda Joy, and I'm so excited that you joined me for this series. One of the reasons I wanted to do this is because I discovered through the power of storytelling after publishing 300 women's stories that there's so much wisdom, so many lessons through our stories, and that when we come together to share them, magic and miracles unfold, insights. And another thing I noticed too is we realize we're not alone. There's nothing wrong with us. We all have life experiences that challenge us, push us, stretch us, and inspire us on our journey. And that's the purpose of this series. I am so excited to have my friend Judy Gallauresi here with me today. And her story, I just love the title too, is Serendipity in the Path to Mindful Gratitude. I'm going to read the quote of Judy's from the book Divine Synchronicity, and I will then introduce her and we're going to have this beautiful conversation. Life's twists and turns, bring them on. I'm here for it all with open arms and a spirit ready to soar on this serendipitous path of mindful gratitude. Judy is a distinguished mindset and mindfulness mentor, skilled soul coaching practitioner, and oracle card reader. Passionate about guiding clients, she merges wisdom with wit to unlock her clients' inherent potential. Judy's approach encourages clients to trust their intuition and clear physical and mental clutter, which we could all use right now, facilitating self-discovery and empowerment. She's dedicated to leading her clients toward clarity and joy and unveiling their inner wisdom, making each journey a transformative experience. You can learn more at crystalconcepts.com. More details are all in the show notes below. And welcome, Judy.
Thank you, Linda, for having me today. This is going to be fun. I mean, the book was fun to be in. It was very healing, I think, for everyone. And thank you. Thank you for doing this series.
Well, I think it's so important. And I know on my own journey of personal healing and transformation, in some of my toughest times, it was finding or reading or hearing a story of another woman who rose from the ashes. And there was moments in my life like I held on to that woman's story. It gave me hope that if she can overcome something, then I can too. And so, authentic storytelling, the model I use for Inspire Living Publishing's anthology books, which we've published over 21. What I realized over 15 years, Judy, is it's not just a writing journey for my authors. It actually was a healing journey. And for the first time out of 21 books, I decided to do this series because I said, whoa, there was a lot of healing and transformation in every woman's stories. Let's share this. So let's start with question number one. What would you say is the key theme or life lesson that was shared in your story, Serendipity and the Path to Mindful Gratitude?
Oh, if I had to just distill it down to just one, like the essence, a single guiding theme overall, it's the transformative power of mindfulness and gratitude and reclaiming your own life. Because life has a way, we all know it, of pushing us into survival mode. You're racing from one crisis to another, drowning sometimes in anxiety, feeling utterly disconnected from ourselves. But there comes a moment, that unexpected serendipitous moment when we're offered a different path. Without giving anything away, mine came from just that kind stranger in a hospital hallway. An encounter that, we have these encounters, they're so ordinary, but they're so divinely orchestrated. And we just don't know it sometimes. But, so for me, it cracked the door open. It's at its core, the journey is about choosing to be present.
Yeah.
Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's realizing that peace isn't something that you just stumble upon. You can cultivate it, just like in our garden. You put everything in, you dig in the dirt, you pull those weeds. The greatest tool we have in that cultivation, I believe, is gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
Gratitude just shifts everything. It takes life's chaos and it gives it meaning. It's pain into growth. I say this all the time, but with clients and with friends and family, your fear into trust and those ordinary moments into sacred ones. I know people that love to wash dishes. Like for them, it's a soothing, sacred moment. So it teaches us that while we may not always control our circumstances, we can always control how we show up for them. So mindful and gratitude just didn't change my perspective. It rewrote my entire narrative.
I love that. Something you said too is sometimes in the moment, like when you're in the hospital hallway, sometimes in the moment we don't know it's a divine synchronicity or a serendipitous moment. So my question for you is, in that moment, did you realize that that was an earth angel, a sign, or was it looking back, you realized, oh my goodness, that was a pivotal.
No, this person I knew was a special being. And I mean, I held on to his business card. And I kept on questioning myself because I was letting the other people around me tell me, I was second guessing me.
I think we all do that, don't we? Especially when it comes to science, synchronicities, intuitive insights. We're like, oh, poo-poo this. And then you get the world chattering of friends or family who kind of like smother our little intuitive hits. And I think that's normal. That I think we all go through that, right? Doubting, is this real? Did this really happen? Is this a message? But for you, from knowing you, it sounds like as you built your trust muscles about receiving these signs, synchronicities, divine moments, you now trust it completely. It was a journey, correct?
Oh, it's absolutely. I say to people all the time that your gut, your intuitiveness, that is in all of us, but we have to trust it. And it doesn't come overnight. You have to kind of cultivate it to see. Like, it's like people with 11:11 on a clock. Or like, for instance, this morning, there was a house bench sitting on the pine tree when I got out of the shower. We have windows, a wall of windows. We're on the second floor. We have glass doors. I saw this house bench and I kept on thinking, what is this bench doing here? Why is it staring? And it was just sitting there in the rain, staring at me. And then I was like, oh, this is a sign. Because today I'm a little bit jiggy. I need to just
like in other words, Judy, be present. I see you. I'm here. But here's the beautiful thing. Some would have just said, and I was one of those in the past, oh, what a pretty bird, gone about the day. But because you are open and so connected, and I love the word you're using, you keep cultivating that relationship with your intuition. You saw the little one as a sign, and you got present enough to decipher the sign.
Oh yeah, and like I said, it's something that I think we all can do over time, but and again, I go back to the trust factor. We have to trust that sometimes sometimes our gut's going to give us the bad information and we're going to just have to roll with it. You have to but for the most part, if we trust the signs and synchronicities, and that's why the title of the book is perfect, Divine Synchronicity. There are so many synchronistic moments in life that we have and we can look back on, or we can be present. And that's the whole thing with the mindfulness, is being present to see it and let it soak in. That's
And what I noticed too on my own journey, and we've had some conversations, and you're a prolific, amazing writer. So you have lots of content on the Aspire magazine blog. And every time she submits something, I'm like, ooh, what's up next? So one of the things is, again, going back to cultivate, cultivate, cultivate. And then
yeah.
another word you used a lot, which speaks to me, is about trusting what you receive. And for me, I remember making it a game because I wanted to be more trusting about life. I'm going back about 30 years. I wanted
Mm.
to trust life. I wanted to trust myself. I wanted to feel connected to something bigger than me. So I kind of made it a game looking for signs, synchronicities, and always, always circling back to what you said at the beginning. For me, giving gratitude every time I see a sign. Thank you, I got that. I see those numbers. I see that goldfinch. Is that part of your process too?
Oh, it absolutely is part of my process. I mean, I have, I always thank, and because you know my background and everything, for everything that's happened in my life, I've learned to say thank you. It might have been at the darkest hour, but it was something that brought me to here.
Yeah. I feel the same about my life journey. If someone else looks back in my life, they're like, how are you here right now and have an open heart, a joyful spirit, knowing my story? And I go, I chose in every moment to be mindful, to have
Oh, yeah.
gratitude, and to move forward. I am not my past. I am not my stories. I am not that now. It wasn't always easy for me to say.
Yeah.
Finally, at that place, is those experiences brought me to my light. Those experiences brought me to my joy. They brought me closer to my connection to divine, as I know
Uh,
that's your journey too. So I think that was a beautiful response to question number one. Thank you. Thank you for that sacred conversation. So, as you discovered through the authentic storytelling framework and program, it isn't just a writing process, it's an invitation to use storytelling to
mm,
connect with your higher self as a writer and to peel the layers of the limiting stories that we all hold about the experiences from our past, right?
mm.
So, how did writing your soul story in divine synchronicity heal, empower, or inspire you on your journey of self discovery?
Oh, oh, this is a profound, profound question for me. Um, it runs deep. This question really runs deep because what I didn't realize that how much writing, it wasn't just putting those words on the paper, it was about reclaiming my voice, my truth, my power. And it was taking, because parts of my journey from childhood through my life, through meeting that person in the hallway to where I am today, felt fragmented. Quite frankly, going into this, I can't be more grateful for you and doing this because it was a fragmentation that I didn't really know was there. I mean, I knew it because you put those kind of everything in a box up in your head and you tie it tight and it's over here. But it was like, yeah, you think about puzzles, with the scattered pieces. And for me, it was scattered pieces of past struggles, moments of grace, and hard-won wisdom. I mean, it wasn't all bad, but writing that forced me to gather all the pieces and step back and see the masterpiece that they were forming. And it's hard for me to say that. Like, that's a hard word for me to say, masterpiece. Like, I don't put that title on me, but I had to claim that. And that was part of that process because, um, healing comes, I think, in times of reflection
Yeah, I agree.
when we reflect and realizing that the very things that once, weighed us down, like pulled us down into the muck, are actually shaping us into the people that we are today. Like you and I, where are we today?
Yeah. My darkness helped me be the light I am today for others. I couldn't understand my own light if I didn't experience the darkness. And I think our own personal journeys as women, yours, mine, and those who are listening.
Yeah.
Our darkness, the struggles that we've had that caused darkness, I should say, really were molding us for the path ahead. We don't see it at the time, believe me. In my most painful moments when I was down on my knees, I did not go, oh, this is just going to have a better life. No, I did not think that. But one of the things I heard too is in your story, especially when you said the puzzle pieces. I've had so many authors, I've published over 300 beautiful souls like you.
Mhm.
And I remember a woman saying, God, about 5 years ago in a conversation, she said, Linda, I didn't realize, similar to your story, she had packed the story away in a box on top of the closet and never wanted to look at it again. But it was costing her more energetically and spiritually not to look at it because she was still tethered to it. And she said in the storytelling process, she took the box out, similar to kind of what you were alluding to, and said, okay, I'm tired of being weighed down by the past, and took out the pieces. When you use the visual of the puzzle pieces, it reminded me what she said. She goes, I felt like I called back all the pieces of my soul that I had been so disconnected from. She goes, and as I wrote the story, those pieces came back into me, and I felt no longer tethered to the pain of the story, but now I was embodying the wisdom. And that's what I just heard, like in different words. Is that your truth too?
Oh, it absolutely, um, it's kind of like, this is where I've been, like you said, this is what I've learned, and this is how I choose to move forward with it from all of that. And it was making a choice to say, okay, now's the time. Here's all the pieces. Now I can look at this, and it's from all the various parts of life, and say now it's whole. But it's not completely whole because with a puzzle you have those little.
Those
But
pieces
that
that get
doesn't.
lost or the cat
Yeah,
gets.
yeah. But and you know what? I know a lot of people think that, and women especially, that, oh my God, that's a scar I don't want to show or have or feel. And it came when I was writing all of this, that the understanding that my story, you know, made me where I am. And it really did unpack a lot. Like I said, a lot came out of there. It was an act of liberation. I guess that's the thing. This is the thing. Writing this, it was an act of liberation. That just came, like I was trying to think, and that's the word.
Liberation. I love that. An act of liberation. That is so
Yeah.
simple and beautiful, my
Yeah.
friend. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a final question. And, as we shared, authentic storytelling is about diving deeper into the stories we tell ourselves
Mhm.
so that we can break free, liberation, active liberation, so we can break free of self-imposed limitations so we can embrace a new narrative for our life. Your act of liberation did exactly that. So what a beautiful tie-in to what authentic storytelling is all about. So the question is, as we come to a close, what's a piece of wisdom, sacred reminder, or inspiration you want to leave women with today?
Oh, to the most powerful takeaway that I hope women receive from my story is mindfulness and gratitude aren't just fluffy words, because I know people toss words around. They're not just nice ideas, they're power tools. Think of them as a power tool in your kit. They help us navigate life's messiest and most uncertain moments with strength, with clarity, and with peace. And if there was one sacred reminder I want to leave everyone with, is especially for women, you're stronger than you think, you're more resilient than you know, and worthy of a life that you just don't survive, you thrive. And yes, I'm here to say you can do it with grace, presence, and have that joy factor.
I felt that on a soul level because it was a time I forgot that too. Judy, I want to thank you for writing your story, Serendipity and the Path to Mindful Gratitude. I want to invite everyone, check out the show notes, visit Judy at her website, stay connected with her, check out her articles at aspiremag.net. You'll find lots of stuff on topics like this, mindfulness, gratitude, sacred practices, and more. Judy, thank you, my friend. It was truly an honor to
Thank
have
you,
this space
Linda.
with you and share your story.
Thank you, Linda.
Love you, my friend.
Love you too.